Hi everybody, you're listening to Dualcast Geekery, where we discuss all things video games, TV shows, movies, comics, and more. I'm your host, Britny, and I'm joined by Oli, my co-host.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing?
I'm doing alright, not bad. Had an okay week, and I enjoyed my weekend, so
yeah,
we watched
me
some
too.
cool shows.
We did some new things this weekend in a way.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't do much in the way of video games this week, or reading or anything like that. Well, I did, but it's all more of the same that I've talked about in the past, so I won't really be going over any of that. Just kind of jumped back into Destiny, actually, quite a bit. Played Dead by Daylight, of course.
And I haven't done much either. I downloaded a couple little indie-like games or little top-down games. Finished downloading the update to the Marvel Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
I played a teeny bit of it, but not enough to actually review or anything like that. So I will probably have that for next week.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be going back into games more next week. Hoping that the Dead by Daylight DLC comes out this coming Tuesday, but they haven't given an exact date. They just keep saying coming soon. I think that they don't want to rush things and then have too many problems with it and then have to set it back again, you know?
Yeah, we know what happened to that last update and how them rushing to put that out caused a lot of trouble. So.
Yeah, like I'll just deal with, not having it. Like we're fine with not having it on time. That's all right. I'd rather it come to us more finished than having bugs and be rushed.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should be doing with games nowadays anyway, because we don't want any more Cyberpunk 2077 issues.
Yeah, or Anthem.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yikes. I never even played that game past the demo. Did you ever try it?
I never tried it, and
I think
didn't
we
really
can.
care to.
Like, I think with EA Plays we could.
I thought that game, ended, or they stopped
They shut it down.
Yeah, so I don't see its purpose.
Pretty sad for people that were playing it and that had actually enjoyed the new updates. Like, that really kind of sucks for them.
Was it really doing that bad that they just decided to shut it down?
I know nothing about it, but yeah, they did shut it down, so hard to say. March 31st, we will have a new game to play, Outriders.
Yeah.
They announced that it's coming to Game Pass.
Okay.
So we should be able to play it. That's kind of why, I could never get the demo to work on the Xbox.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know. It still doesn't work, so I'm just like, forget it. The game comes out, in a week. So I'll just play the full thing whenever it comes out.
Yeah, and I may hop back into it and try to play it again myself. Mm-hmm. Once the full game comes out, maybe they'll hop into, more of the controls and gameplay faster.
Well, and your save will carry over.
Oh, yeah. So
you won't have to...
I won't have to worry about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you won't have to redo everything. But, yeah, other than Destiny and Dead by Daylight, I haven't really been playing anything. I did play a little bit more of Donut County just to unlock some extra achievements.
That game looks fun.
It really is fun. I enjoyed it, but... So today, I guess you didn't dive into Marvel's Avengers yet. Your time was kind of limited, so...
No, I didn't.
You didn't get a chance to, but...
I will at some point. I get into it and check it out and talk about it.
Yeah, once he does, we will definitely be talking about that on the next episode. So, for this episode, we are going to focus all of our attention on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Disney Plus's new Marvel Cinematic Universe TV show. So we will dive into Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, that's very fitting, because he straight up was diving in this show.
He was ducking and diving and swooping and soaring.
The beginning of this show, when he shows up, it was action. This is like an action show, and it's almost like a movie, a nice budget movie,
100%. You know what it kind of reminded me of in a way? The beginning of The Dark Knight Return. No. Did I really just get the title of that movie wrong? Oh my god. The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises? Isn't that the one with
Bane in the plane?
Yeah. Yes.
Somewhere in Spain.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, in a way.
Yeah, that I can see that.
Just the way it starts off,
yes.
You know, super intense.
Very much so. The way that he, like, just jumped out, it kind of reminded me a little bit of how Captain America jumped out of the airplane in Captain America Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
He just jumps out and it's like, oh, he's just jumping out. Well, that's pretty much what Sam did, but he did in like more of a little flash, like, I'm just jumping out, and then he just takes off with his wings in a cool way.
Yeah, because he has wings, he can do that.
Yeah. And his flight, like watching him fly, I know he doesn't have powers, but to me it seems like he has to have some type of like quick eye, some kind of like reactionary that's above normal.
Yeah, he definitely has to have that.
Oh, he has to have that because there's no way someone like me can be doing that. I've been hit the first like cliff.
He has quick response time.
Yeah, he does.
That's for sure. But yeah, I liked that scene, and I liked his little gadget, the little wing, like the little red thing.
Yeah, red wing, yeah.
Oh, is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Okay, shows how much I know.
Well, in the original comic, Red Wing is actually a falcon. It's a living falcon, and what people don't know is that Falcon in the comics actually has power. He has telepathic powers with birds. Yeah, so he communicates and he can see through the eyes of his falcon and other birds. So he can like track people and do stuff like that. A lot of people don't know about him, and he has some kind of reactionary powers and like falcon-like eyes, I believe. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's something that they didn't really put into like the character in the MCU, but I can't really see how they could have fit that in.
I think it makes more sense to have it be some crazy technology gadget as opposed to like, oh, here's the birds.
Yeah, gaining power.
Yeah.
And, he gained power through, in the comics, there's Red Skull that like kidnapped him and did some experiments on him, and then he became, Captain America's friend and helped him out.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I did not know all that.
Yeah, I really did like that scene. And then you get introduced to another character in that scene, like a Torres. He's like one of the military guys. Mm-hmm. And he seems to like, they seem to be like developing a new friendship with Falcon. Well, I call him Falcon, but Sam Wilson. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty interesting. Was
Torres in the comics?
Torres? No. I don't remember him being in the comics. I don't remember any character by the name of Torres that was, in with Captain America or Falcon, from what I know of the characters. So
I guess that leads me to just say that I personally do not have any background knowledge of Falcon or really of Winter Soldier outside of what I've seen in the MCU already. So are you familiar with the Falcon comics?
I'm familiar with Falcon as having his abilities. I haven't really read any of the comics, especially the new stuff when Falcon became Captain America.
Mm-hmm. You haven't read those?
No, I haven't read those. Those are still fairly new. I stopped reading comics about 2011, 2012, so a lot of my knowledge is like almost 10 years.
Okay. So his are fairly new then?
Yeah. He's fairly new as Captain America, and also the Winter Soldier, Bucky, was also Captain America for a little bit. And I was reading comics when he became Captain America for a little while, and that was just right after the Civil War in comics.
Okay. So you probably don't have any knowledge of the wackadoo Captain America that showed up at the end that we're going to talk about much later.
I know a little bit about, if theories are correct, I may know a little bit about who this individual is.
All right, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but just throwing it out there. So you have some knowledge, I have none. So that makes the show kind of interesting for us to watch.
Yeah.
Honestly.
After that initial scene with Sam, we moved on to another character, the other main protagonist of this show, the Winter Soldier.
Bucky.
Yeah, I enjoyed this scene too, even though it was a bit of a sad scene, in my opinion. It's a scene where you see these people in like a big hotel setting, and it looks like some government like people walking around. I'm government. I'm special. Well, you're real special now because somebody put their hand through a wall, grabbed you, and started to beat you to death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene was pretty violent.
Yeah, it was. And they're showing like how he was just such a deadly warrior killer. He's
a killing machine. Like, that's literally what he did back then.
I mean, he was literally a Terminator.
When he was brainwashed, yes.
Yeah, he was a Terminator. And then,
an assassin.
Yeah, an assassin. A really good assassin. Like a high level, this is high level assassin stuff. Mm-hmm. This isn't somebody trying to put some poison in your drink and missing it. But yeah, he's high level assassin. He gets in there, gets out, and it's done. Mm-hmm. And if anyone's like there and sees something, like this poor fool over here, he's like, what do you say? Clap him. He's clapped.
Oh,
dead,
no.
Gone. Yeah.
That was really sad.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And you can tell Bucky is really struggling with his past and what he did to people. Even though it's not his fault, he still did it. He still remembers it. And you would carry that guilt if you were any type of decent person.
Yeah.
You know?
And him waking up and just like not able to sleep. He's still having nightmares and things like that.
PTSD to the extreme.
Yeah.
I will say, dang, like he slept on the floor. He has a whole place to himself and he's going to sleep on the floor with a blanket. He had a couch. I think it's probably familiarity. He just likes to, sleep where you're comfortable. What is that? Eminem says he still sleeps on the couch, right?
Yeah, he goes in there. He, assassinates these people. And he wakes up, and then we find out that, he's in therapy.
Yeah. I mean, that scene was a flashback nightmare.
Yeah, it was.
And, and of course he's trying to better his life and goes to therapy. His therapist is pretty brutally honest with him, Like, she's not beating around the bush at all with him. She's just like, dude, you need some people in your life. Like, really.
Yeah, you're not answering Sam's text messages. What's up with you, man? Being all antisocial.
But then he does have a friend, and it's the older guy that is the father of the guy that he killed.
Yeah.
In his nightmare that was a flashback.
Yeah, we see this flashback. You see this guy trying to get into a room. And then he witnesses this assassination, and he's like shaking. He's like, I didn't see anything. I won't tell anybody. And then next thing you know, you just hear the bang sound, and of course you know that he was put down
by Winter
Soldier. So he's befriended this old man, and the old man's, they take each other out to dinner, and then the old man even tried to hook him up with a girl and everything.
That was cute.
And that was a really funny scene.
I thought it was cute.
And his mannerisms, you brought it out.
I did. I said he's acting just like a really older guy.
Yeah, and
Bucky.
Like they really did good with that type of acting of making him just feel like or seem like
very mature,
very old-fashioned.
Yeah, old-fashioned, mature.
That whole date scene and everything.
I know, that was so funny.
It's funny, but it became real awkward fast.
I know, because she didn't... She thought he was joking, and he was serious. He's like, I'm 106.
Yeah.
She's like, that's so funny. You're so funny.
It's true, I really am.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, my best friend was 106.2 or 5 or 7 or something like that. I don't know if... I'm not sure if Steve was supposed to be older or younger. Like in the comics, Steve is older than, Bucky by several years. I think about 8 or 9 years or something like that. But not too sure about the movies. I think they're about the same age.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was cute. Kind of sucks that he stood her up, but, you can tell this is going to go somewhere because he's already struggling so bad with his guilt. And, he was going to go and tell the father of that guy he killed. He was going to go tell him then, like at the end of that date when he ran out. He was going to tell him, like, I was the one who killed your son or whatever. And however he was going to explain that. But can tell that this is going to be like a major story arc for Bucky.
Yeah.
As of right now,
So he has this notebook that he's going through and he's trying to with the government, correct some of the wrongs that he has done. And one of those we see in the scene with this, I guess, a senator lady. And she's in her car, and she's talking about getting rid of somebody. And then he put some kind of device on it and started remote controlling it.
Controlling her car. How scary would that be if somebody was doing that to you?
It's so crazy. And then, like, he goes up to the window, and the guy's like, "What are you blah, blah, blah?" Like, he's going to do something. The guy in the passenger seat, he just knocks him out. He's like, "Shut up, fool."
He's like, "I'm sorry." Or what did he say? "I'm making amends," or whatever.
I'm making amends. I got you in this area of power, and now I am making amends for what I did. And he had this smile on his face.
It's like, I don't think that's what she meant by make amends with people when your therapist said that, but okay.
So he's working, it seems like he's working with the government because the police and stuff came and arrested her for that, or whatever deal she is doing, but she straight up was talking about assassinating somebody. So,
okay, so you caught that and I didn't, because...
she's talking about getting rid of somebody. She's like, he's not going with us, then, get rid of him. Kill him.
Oh, so was he making amends for the person that she was wanting to kill?
He is making amends for putting her in power because she was working with Hydra. She was a Hydra. One of the affiliates with Hydra.
That was his version of making amends.
Getting her arrested.
That's kind of funny.
Getting her out of the system because...
I get it now.
So that was one of the making amends, and the other one was he's trying to do that with the older guy as well. Another thing that was interesting was while this was happening, then we ran into the whole Torres. We talked about him earlier.
Falcon's new friend
had been following like this little cell group or whatever, like a kind of like a terrorist group, and this terrorist group called Flag Smashers.
Okay.
And they have like this insignia, like this red hand. And it seems like you're able to see this red hand if you use like your cell phone in certain areas. That's what I got from it. I'm not sure if that's how it actually works. They seem like some kind of radical group, and I'm not sure what their purpose is because we haven't really got a good background on it yet. But look like they're a bunch of thieves. And
very radical, like you said. Like organized.
And one of them, whoever this guy is, Torres was trying to follow him while they're doing one of their little terrorist acts or whatever acts they're doing. He tries to follow and like fights this guy. And this guy is like picking up police officers and he's tossing them to the side. Like,
yeah, he's not your average bank robber. Like, he has some kind of superpowers in him.
When Torres pulls out his gun, the guy just grabs his hand real quick, like takes the gun out of his hand, picks him up in the air like he's nothing, like a featherweight, and slams him down. I was like, dude, his back sounded like it was gone.
So that brings me to remember Winter Soldier in the second Captain America movie. Do you think that there's a correlation between Hydra and the Flag Smashers? Do you think that they could be controlling these people and have their new, like, Winter Soldier in the form of that guy?
I think it's possible. I think that they may have a connection to Hydra. Yeah, it does sound like it could be them with that type of ability, because anybody with that type of Captain America level strength, and ability. So do you have any inklings from your prior knowledge of the comics? Do you have any inklings on who this strong person is within the Flag Smashers? He kind of seemed like a ringleader in a way. I'm not sure. I vaguely remember a character named as Flag Smasher, but I'm not 100%
I thought the group was Flag Smasher.
The group is, but I kind of vaguely remember a supervillain by the name of Flag Smasher. Okay. If I remember correctly, and I don't have much else to add to that. If anybody knows more about Flag Smasher, shoot us a message and let us know.
Yeah, let us know if your knowledge exceeds ours, which it might.
Yeah. I've been out of the game for a while. So, yeah.
It's not quite like WandaVision where, you knew quite a bit about, like, Doctor Strange and, like, all of the gods and, crazy magic and stuff like that. But that's what makes this show so interesting for us to watch.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Another thing that I'm hopping ship from Torres and the superhero to back to Sam Wilson.
Yes.
And his family problems.
Oh, yeah. I liked this scene a lot. I liked being introduced to his nephews and his sister and seeing a human side. You know, I like to see the human side of superheroes where it's not all flash and bang and technology, you know, because real world problems don't stop just because, you know, you would be a superhero. You know what I mean? I enjoyed seeing them and being introduced to their family and, like, their business and everything like that.
Yeah. He wants to keep the family business, and sister's like, I just can't handle it, you know, it's too much. And that whole scene of them trying to get a loan, and he's confident that they can get a loan because he's an Avenger, you know? You're an Avenger. Come on. I just saved the world. Not only did I save the world, I helped save the universe. Okay? Yeah. The universe from Big Purple Chin Guy, you know? like I was in one of the biggest battles known in the universe, okay?
I knew as soon as he was talking in front of those kids and getting all amped up and saying, I'm going to redo your kitchen and stuff, I was like, oh, this isn't going to work out. Yeah. The bank is going to break his heart so bad. He was just too confident, you know?
He was.
There was no way that was going to work out.
And, like, the way that the bank system works, and I believe this would be so real life, of him trying to get a loan. They're like, you haven't had credit in 5 years. I said, right. How am I going to have credit? I've been gone. I was blipped out of the universe. You biscuit eater? I'm like, come on.
I know. Well, can you imagine if half the universe was gone for 5 years, or half of the world was gone for 5 years, and then suddenly they all came back?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because you've only had half of the production. Like, really? No, let's break this down. Let's think about this for a minute. Factories would have had at least half, or even less. Like, at the most, half of the same people working, producing food, producing, you know, energy, producing everything. Only half of the people contributing money-wise, like, to taxes and, you know, the economy and making cars and building houses. And then all of a sudden, now you've gone. And 5 years is a substantial amount of time.
Yeah.
So think of all the people that were in relationships and their significant other were gone. Well, are you just going to go 5 years without ever... I mean, I would go 5 years without ever, like, dating anybody else. But, you know, you can't expect that from everybody.
Yeah.
So they would be, like, having a new partner, and then the other person goes back, and they're like, what about my house? And you're like, go get a house. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess there would be empty houses. The house market would be off the chains. Imagine that.
Yeah, and, like, someone comes back and like, hey, that's my wife. And, like, it's like, oh, but we just got married, and then, oh, my wife came back, too. What's going on?
There might be a lot more kids. There might be a lot more thruples and fourples.
And there'll be all kinds of crazy stuff, and it just been insane.
Yeah, just imagine that. And then, like, oh, like, my 4 kids came back, so now we have 8.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
And just thinking about corporations and banks and stuff and how they would deal with that, you know, it's definitely a moment where you're like, dang, this could really happen in real life. But, you know, that also brings me to the fact that the banker was kind of assuming, you know, oh, you're Falcon, like, you're an Avenger. You should have a lot of money. And then, you know, Falcon is like, oh, I don't. You know, it doesn't really work that way. We don't get a lot of money. You know, like, we're not super wealthy. And that's something that could happen in real life, too, possibly. Like, I could see it going either way. Like, they could either be, like, athletes and be praised and get all this money thrown at them, you know, and have, like, contracts and major deals and all that, which I think is kind of the way the Boys TV show went.
Yes.
You know, like, they were their athletes. They were the football stars, you know.
And they're getting paid by private organizations and things like that.
Now, I guess if you were a soup in the Boys universe, if you were a soup and you weren't, you know, like, there were some that weren't getting paid because they weren't within that corporation of the 7 or whatever, right? But, in the MCU, you know, if they're not getting paid, obviously it's more like, say, government workers, where their pay is not substantial to their work, you know, and it is more an act of good faith, you know, like teachers or social workers or, you know, people like that.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, oh, well, they're doing all this and sacrificing so much, but we're not really going to pay them.
I was just thinking about this, just came to mind now. Mm-hmm. At one point, he probably was getting paid by Tony Stark, right? But then after Civil War, you know, they were like they weren't on good terms. So yeah, that could be the issue as well. And then of course they got blipped out, and then you know he never got a chance to work with Tony again because. We remember what Tony did. He sacrificed himself. And
the Avengers are done, right? Like, they're kaput right now.
I don't think there is an Avengers right now.
Like, it's just him.
Yeah.
Like, he's working for it, you know, but, like, working for the government. But there's not, like, a group of them together anymore.
I don't think there is, because they're so broken apart now.
But that might be fixed when they introduce the Young Avengers, when or if, you know. Yeah. That gives us... more in the future, but, you know, it's a possibility.
Yeah. And one thing that I kind of need to kind of backtrack on was that ceremony for like the shield for Captain America.
Yes.
And how like Sam Wilson just felt like he couldn't carry that weight. They said it before that the shield feels like it doesn't belong to me. And it's like something that, you know, belongs to Captain America. And, you know, that's just
and it's done.
Like how you feel. So like, he's gone. So he was... you know, giving it to the government in the museum.
Smithsonian.
Yes, Smithsonian for the museum so that they can have that, you know, trophy of a great hero. American hero, a world hero.
It's like, put it to rest, you know? Yeah. Like, hang it up. Don't...
Yeah.
Which... we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yes, I really liked that Smithsonian tribute to Captain America. Wouldn't it be amazing if we were billionaires and we could have that in our home?
Oh yeah, that'd be so cool.
Can you imagine? It looks so cool. Like with the lightings, it was perfect. It was very emotional too. Like as Captain America fans, you know. I felt emotional.
And they had Bucky there too. Bucky's little pictures up in there, and like probably all their pictures. Probably Sam's picture should get in there at some point because he's been helping out Captain America and worked, you know, side by side with him.
Yeah, and what about Natasha?
Yeah, Natasha too. I don't know about Natasha. You know how they think of her as an assassin. They're like, we don't know about this assassin person.
God.
You know. Well, she's reformed, people.
Yeah, she's great. What are they talking about? She has
too much red tape. Well, I'm pretty sure she canceled a lot of that red tape out, saving the freaking universe.
Yeah, sacrificing herself, but you know, who cares?
Yeah. Good Lord.
So dumb.
And the last thing that, like, I kind of want to talk about, with him just, you know, turning over the shield to Smithsonian, and then popped on the news.
Oh my gosh, are we actually going to talk about this now?
Yeah, we're going to talk about this now. These mofos going to make a new Captain America.
The Presidente,
and then going to take the shield that was donated to the Smithsonian and give it to this guy. When we see his suit, he runs out. And then I look at his face. This fool is trying to be Captain America. I was like, this is like a disgrace. Totally
not making fun of the way people look at all.
No.
But I think that they did that on purpose.
They purposely made
It's not a bad face.
No.
It's not Steve Rogers.
No.
And
it's like,
so
it doesn't fit the but the mask at all. I'm sorry. I'm acting like he's Batman. But it's like it's not filling in
it's
on
not
Captain
right.
America.
And they did that on purpose. I mean, that actor, great. You know, we're not making fun of that at all.
No, he's not a bad looking guy, I don't think.
But that just wasn't right. So let me tell you how I felt with this scene. So when his sister comes running in, she's like, turn on the news, like, you gotta watch this or whatever. And so then he does. And the way that the president is speaking, my mind is going, like, all butterflies and rainbows. And I'm like, they're asking for someone to step forward and become, like, a new Avenger and just be, like, the face of America and be the protector, right? And I thought, oh, this is going to give him an opportunity to have a position where they're going to have money and he'll get paid more and be, like, the new face of the America. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they're going to ask for superheroes to step forward, and Sam can do that. And then their future is going to be so bright, right?
Yeah, right.
That's where my mind went. And then his sister was looking real nervous. And I was like, why is she looking so nervous for? And then you see the Shield walking first.
Yeah.
And then it, like, pans around, and I'm like, I'm done.
I'm done. Captain America. Bye. And then he's looking like these son of a biscuits. And I'm like, these son of a biscuits.
Yikes.
Like, he just gave that over to them, and they're going to pull that kind of crap.
Like, nobody deserves to hold that shield in that way, except in my mind and in Steve Rogers' mind, Sam Wilson.
Exactly.
Possibly Bucky Barnes.
Okay, but yeah, those are the only two. Those are the only two that should be handling that shield.
Yeah, it is a triangle, guys. Yeah. It's a triangle, and the shield stays within that triangle.
Yeah. They're playing ball with each other. They're tossing that shield to each other.
Hot potato.
Yeah. Each person gets to get that shield. Anyone else walking in there to catch that shield need to get the hell out.
Yeah, goodbye. It was. I did not like.
I didn't like that. That was a smack in Sam's face, Steve Rogers' face, and smacking poor Bucky when he's already got enough issues as it is. Face.
And all the fans of Captain America. Imagine if this was truly going on in the United States, and you were like, basically worshipped Steve Rogers, Captain America, and then you see somebody else in his place, and you're like, is this going to be like a next president thing where we have to elect? Well, except we wouldn't be electing. We're like, we have to worry about who's going to be Captain America next.
Yeah, and just think about this in other, like, not just Captain America. Let's say what they decide. They say, and guess what? We decided to have a new Iron Man, and have some new guy come up. I'm the new Iron Man. My name is Billy Barks.
So now I'm curious to know, because I've been so caught up with just being upset about that. But now the logical questions start coming to mind. Is this guy even a superhuman?
I don't know. And maybe he is. Maybe they decide to give him some form of super soldier serum. I know that the serum is still around.
Yeah.
Because they recently, in the Incredible Hulk movie, which came out about the same time as the Iron Man movie, it came out like a month after the Iron Man movie, they introduced a form of the super soldier serum, and they gave it to Emil Blonsky, and he tried to fight the Hulk. He had all the speed and abilities that Captain America would have had.
Okay.
But then he went ahead and did some extra stuff and became the Abomination, which is like a big creature like the Hulk. And they had their little fighting battle and everything. They still had that, and the person who had control of that was Thunderbolt Ross. And we see him throughout the Avengers. He's that guy with the mustache that's like, Captain America is a criminal and he shouldn't be doing this and that. Mm-hmm. That guy. Okay. He's the guy who hates, like, Bruce Banner so much because Bruce Banner tried to get with his daughter and blah blah blah. Oh. Yeah, he hates Bruce Banner in the comics, and because Betty Ross loves him, and whole thing. But yeah, that was pretty terrible regarding the whole Captain America thing. Is like,
So do you have ideas on who this person is? You said you did.
Oh, I do. I can't remember his name exactly. His civilian name, but I know of a character that went by the name of U.S. Agent. And he was Captain America for a little bit. He had superhuman strength, I think around 10 tons. He could press about 10 tons and things like that. But he was no Captain America in the way that he did things. He had no problem with beating people to death.
So he's a Homelander.
Yeah, he's like a Homelander Captain America. He had no problem with beating people to death, threatening people, and doing things that Captain America normally would not do. I believe he was a little bit unhinged in some ways, and then Captain America came back and took the mantle away from him, and he became like U.S. agent.
Okay.
And he worked closely with the government, and
Captain America became U.S. agent?
No.
John Walker, it says. His name is John Walker. That one guy became
U.S. agent. John Walker, I think that may be his name as U.S. agent. Yes, he became U.S. agent, but he did take the mantle of Captain America for a little bit. And that was, I think, in the 80s. That's what I'm thinking who that is.
Well, maybe we'll have more clarity on that next week, and we can dive more into that.
Yeah.
Superhero and talk about possible outcomes of the show.
Yeah.
There's only 6 episodes, but they're all hour-long episodes. Well, about 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
There wasn't an end credit scene.
No, not on this first episode. So.
But overall, I mean, my connection with the show wasn't super strong. At least, like, not yet. You know, I'm going to give it time. Because it should grow, I'm thinking. We do get some emotional parts, so I'm sure it will grab my attention, and like I'll tend to be more attracted to it throughout, especially with Falcon's family.
Yeah.
I think adding in that emotional tie is really going to like draw me in more. Sometimes I need like emotional ties and mysteries to keep me curious and really interested in something, and that's why WandaVision, I was so hyped about it, because there was so much mystery. I don't want to compare the two, because they're so vastly different, and they're great in their own ways, but that's, I think if my energy or like excitement for the TV show seems less, it's just because it doesn't have that same mystery, you know, so my curiosity isn't completely piqued. But it is entertaining, and I really liked the, you know, directing of it. The writing of it was good. The acting, of course, so.
Action and special effects were really good, too. The thing that got me for next week is, like, I want to see their reaction to it. Not only Sam's reaction, like, going into a more deeper reaction and seeing, like, how he's going to handle it. Is he going to go over to them, like, what's up with this? You know? And how is Bucky going to handle this? Because Bucky's like, what? You trying to replace Captain America, my friend? What's going on here? You know? So that's the things that I'm interested in. I really liked the show. I thought it was a good action show. Had a nice storyline and everything. And for our show, it was more like a short movie, to tell the truth.
It did feel that way. And, you know, are we going to see a possible showdown between Falcon and this new Captain America? Or is this new Captain America going to be short-lived because Falcon's going to go to them and say, hey, if you're going to have somebody do it, like, if you have to have somebody, let me do it. And it could be like, you know how I said my original feelings were that they were going to ask people to come forward to be, it could be that playing out. You know, he might say, hey, if someone's going to do it, let me. And then they're like, okay. And then the driving factor of that would be he'll get more money to take care of his family back home. You know, it could be something like that. Don't you think?
It could be. Yeah, it's possible that could turn out to be the case. So.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I thought the show was good, and I'm looking forward for the following weeks to come.
Yeah, we will go ahead and end this here, I suppose.
All right.
And as always, if you guys want to keep up with us over on Twitter and Instagram, you can find us at DualCastPod. That's DualCastPod. Or if you have any questions or have any topics that you would like us to discuss or anything you would like to input yourself, you can also shoot us an email at dualcastpod@gmail.com. That's DualCastPod@gmail.com. And we will see you guys next time.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Whoop, whoop.